Welcome back, hosers. I'm really excited because today I just received this box from predatoryplants.com. I'm not going to tease you with what's in the box. This is my very first Nepenthes ever. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this because if you're thinking about buying a Nepenthes and ordering it online and you're like, how does it actually ship? What's it going to look like when it arrives? This might be handy for you. So that's why we're going to do the unboxing part. Then I'll just kind of go over a few of the care steps. So here is my box. Got the planting guide and shipping information on top, handy. The box is chock full of long-stranded sphagnum moss, which is handy because that's my potting medium. So nice, and it looks like the plant came as a separately wrapped little plug. Let's pull this up closer to the camera. See, there's the plug. And it's got a couple pictures on it. This is a cute little thing. I'm excited to watch it grow up. And then in the box, I've got a pot. They sent me this little pot. This will probably be good for its first year or so of growth. I don't know. I've never done this before. So what I'm thinking is I want to get this fairly evenly watered. So I'm going to put a little bit of long-stranded sphagnum moss in here. I'm going to just kind of wet it with distilled water. And let's pull this little guy out. Aww. And I'm going to take this lovely blue tissue paper off the outside here. I'm just going to take this plug and poop it in here. Right now here is just a close-up look at the Nepenthes, my brand new baby Nepenthes in its new little pot. Right, so we've opened this up, we've seen how they ship and how to get it out of the box and into its pot. You're going to want to use a low mineral water, which means in most parts of the United States and the rest of the world as well, you cannot use tap water or even regular bottled water. And even if you have like a really nice water filter in your tap system that makes your tap water taste really, really nice, it's still probably too mineral rich for your carnivorous plants. What you will want to make sure you are using is either distilled water, reverse osmosis water, or if you like free stuff, rainwater. The one difference between Nepenthes and American pitcher plants is that you do not want these in standing water. So that's actually a huge difference. American pitcher plants are going to be happiest if they are consistently soggy, whereas Nepenthes need to be consistently moist but not soggy. They have very fine hair-like roots. In the wild, Nepenthes tend to grow either attached to rocks or attached to trees. So they're not a soil plant. They don't grow in the ground typically. And that means that they're used to really good airflow around the roots. The potting media you want to use, you can get away with pure long fiber sphagnum moss. This is not peat moss. This is not even sphagnum peat moss. This is the dead or living actual moss. If you wish to amend this, you can add orchid bark or perlite to get better airflow and drainage around your roots. This is a hybrid called Vivid Machine, which is an amazing name. And it is a cross of Nepenthes Vichii by Platychila, and then they've crossed that with Nepenthes maxima. So it's a double hybrid. And what that means is it's probably super vigorous and super relaxed in terms of its care requirements. So that's why I went with a hybrid, because this is my very first Nepenthes and I wanted to know that I could possibly keep it alive. You can buy a species Nepenthes, so that would be a highland or a lowland species that's genetically identical to stuff that happens in the wild. But if you're just starting out with Nepenthes, you are going to want to consider going with a hybrid. Nepenthes are generally happiest with bright, filtered light. So if you have an east or west window in your house, that might be a good location for a Nepenthes. I'm going to try to grow this in my greenhouse because I do have shade cloth on my greenhouse. I'm in 40% shade. My only concern with growing this in my greenhouse is that it does get pretty stinking hot in here, and it might be too hot. So I'm going to be watching this, and if it looks like it's getting too hot, I'm going to bring it into my house where I have a south-facing window that's got a lot of good shade. Feeding your Nepenthes is something you can definitely do. Now, these little pitchers are too small. I don't think I'd be comfortable dropping food in these pitchers. So what am I going to do? Well, you can use a dilute orchid fertilizer. In fact, a lot of the Nepenthes care is similar to orchid care. They like similar types of substrate. In the wild, they grow in similar environments. Orchids will grow attached to trees, and orchids will grow attached to rocks. So if you have a Phalaenopsis orchid or a moth orchid, care for your Nepenthes is going to be very similar, but with more light. And then also, you can use the same fertilizer, but I would recommend using maybe a quarter strength orchid fertilizer. Then once its pitchers get larger, you can actually feed these. If you don't want to catch bugs and you've got it inside and you're worried about it not getting the food it needs, you can drop fish flakes or beta food pellets down the traps periodically, just 1 or 2 a month. Or if you watching it and you think it needs more food, maybe more often. So that's how you keep it fed and growing. If you have any questions about raising Nepenthes that I didn't address in this video, because I know it's a little scattershot, I would love it if you dropped your questions in my comments so that I can get better as a content creator, because that would be for my benefit. So thank you in advance if you do that. If you like this video, hit like. I would like it if you subscribe to my channel, because I am a small and growing YouTube channel, and that will help me grow. Thank you for joining me in my garden today, and I hope you have a wonderful time in yours.